Greetings, dear viewers, and welcome back to Alatra TV Middle East. We are very happy to continue our broadcasts on the topic Creative Society, and as usually, we are very happy to introduce you our very special guest. But before we do it, I would like to greet my co-host today, Serge from Dubai. We are both from Dubai today. How are you? And please share the news about the weather and how is life in Dubai with our viewers.
Good day, Alina. Greetings, dear viewers. It's an amazing day and it's an amazing weather. In Dubai, it's getting more hot. So soon, I think summer will come. And in such an amazing day, we have an amazing guest, Ambassador Dunston. Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Can you please share with our viewers, because I'm sure they're eager to know what means ambassador and what exactly do you do?
See, I am basically working as on various humanitarian activities with more than 10 NGOs across the world, starting from Africa, United States, UAE, and many other countries. As I realized that now I am 55 years old. So all these years I have been struggling to create my own career, my own family, and it's everything my. So I felt the need that there is a need to give it back to the society, and this is the right time. And I feel that okay, why not dedicate myself some time for humanitarian activities and try to create this world a better place for everyone. While when we are struggling to do that, let me also put in my effort and do whatever little that I can do. And that is how I took up these responsibilities as ambassadors, as chairman, as deputy chairman, executive council, board members for almost all these 10 foundations. And in addition to that, I am also working as an advisor to the Royal Family of Dubai in terms of strategic alliances and business development, supporting business people and entrepreneurs to set up their business in Dubai. So that is how I came across Creative Society, and I happened to have a long chat with Alina to understand what it is all about. And it was fascinating. And while I was going through the various activities as well as the 8 pillars or the 8 foundations of Creative Society, it is something which is really valuable to the humankind, because today in most, as I was interacting with many of the foundations across the world, in many places humans are not treated well. They have no value, but God has created them in this world as an individual, and every individual is special for special in this world, and he has a place. But that is being denied to many in many part of the world. While we are all lucky in this part of the world, there are many part of where people are denied even the basic rights, like food, like education, like security, like home. They don't get all these things, and they are treated so shabbily. And I think that has to change. People has to come forward. People has to come forward. The regulations has to change. The law has to change. The politicians has to look into it, and we need to make sure that every individual in this world has a better place, and the world becomes so peaceful and loving and caring for at least for the next many generations to come.
Thank you, Mr. Dunstan. So true what you're saying, and that's exactly what we're trying to achieve in the Creative Society project, to make
Absolutely.
this place a comfortable place for everyone in the evolutionary way, without any revolutions, without any riots, to unite as one family, to unite professionals, and just be responsible for our world and create the world we want and create the better future for us and for our kids.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Alina.
And
Yeah. Please go ahead.
And as I was telling you, like one of your foundation which speaks about human freedom. Everybody should be free and equal, and everybody has a right to live in this world. And I was really surprised that in some parts of Africa, there is still traditional practices of female genital mutilation happening. I was really surprised. These are all things which has to stop. Similarly, child marriage is still happening in Africa. These are all things that we have to really raise our voice and say no, and because we can't touch with people's freedom. Every human being, for him, his body is valuable. You don't have any right to touch it, and so we have to fight for it. And all your foundations which speaks about human life, human freedom, human safety, transparency, and openness in information for all, and creative ideology, development and personality, justice and equality, and self-governing society. All these are word by word important. And I'm really happy to associate with creative society in creating awareness, in creating, as Alina said, information sharing, because today most of the people doesn't know what it has to be. So information has to be honest, information has to be clear, so people are aware. Media should support, and I think creative society is doing a fabulous job, and there is a long way to go ahead to reach the ultimate goal of what we are all dreaming of.
Yeah, exactly. Ambassador Dunston, what you mentioned is very much important. And I would like also to explain a little bit to our viewers that Creative Society is a project that we can implement the format of the society, which is called Creative Society, into our real everyday life. And this format of the society is vital today for all our society, for humanity, because as you mentioned, we live in the conditions where brutality and cruelty is around us. The people are suffering, and the people are struggling to survive. And these are not acceptable conditions for a human being to live and to grow and to develop. And it's definitely against the common sense, first of all, and also the values which were also brought to this planet through centuries by God messengers, by prophets who advised us how we should live in this world. So today is the time then we people can take the responsibility over us and really unite and build such a world that everyone will be happy and will live prosperously. That's absolutely possible because we live in the society that there are almost 8 billions of clever and wise people with a kind heart. So why wouldn't we do it? It's absolutely doable. And I would like to ask you to share your story. How did you join the Project Creative Society? What did you do exactly? And was it difficult for you?
No, as I was telling you, humankind, see, I will tell you an example. That is in 2018, there was a heavy flood that happened in my hometown in Kerala, where most of the houses, everything was washed away. I lost my entire business. I lost my entire stocks, warehouse. I lost my 3 vehicles. Everything washed away, and we were all put into a relief camp. Now, in that relief camp, there was no disparity between rich, poor, businessman or a doctor, engineer, nothing. Everybody was a human being in that particular place. We were all in a camp and waiting for food because there is no place to go. There's no place to stay. Everybody was in the same place. So that is the time when I realized, see, whatever we earn in life, whatever we do, everything at the end of the day, when a calamity like this come, similarly, see the pandemic, what has happened, how it has disturbed the whole world, isn't it? Everybody was struggling, and whether it is rich, whether it is poor, the virus doesn't know. It enters the human body. There, it's only human being. It is only an entity, one is a single person. So I'm saying, life is all about it is to share the love, share kindness, and see how we can give a lending hand to our fellow human being who also has been created by the same God who created us. And that is what probed me to come to Creative Society and see that, yes, let me also do what I can and support the organization.
Well, thank you so much for sharing also this example from your life, because the topic of climatic changes is one of the main reasons why creative society is so much important today. And now we are watching a lot of debates and discussions about the reason of climate changes and so on and so forth. But the truth is that it's useless to look for the reason. We are in the condition that human life is in danger in front of disasters, climatic disasters. And as you mentioned, in these conditions, people, they become absolutely equal in the situation they find themselves out. And it's our common interest of all people on this planet to create conditions globally there we can easily support each other in any condition. There we can provide a place, and even the migration due to climatic changes, it's a very important question nowadays. And we never know from which country to which country people have to move. But if we create conditions there, we are open to accept anybody who needs help, then it's just, even if we think from the point of view of benefits, it's good for you as well, because in case something happens to your home place, then you can live somewhere there, you are accepted, you are loved, you are cared. So that's, as you mentioned, it's really time for us to recall we are human beings, we have soul, we have conscience, we know how to live in peace and respect. Just we need to overcome these diversities and divisions which were artificially implemented to our society, right? And then there is another question we always ask people: what unites all of us? How can we overcome these divisions and diversities, and how can we unite? What unites us initially, despite differences in races, nationalities, in our religious belonging?
It is just see, we have to understand each other. Like what you said, climate change, disasters. See, these are all not in our hands. It happens. It is inevitable. I mean, in the sense, if an earthquake has to happen, it has to happen. If a pandemic has to happen, it has to happen. But the most disturbing thing is human beings are vulnerable in front of other human beings. We ourselves are treating others badly. We ourselves are not treating our fellow human beings in kindness. That is disturbing. That has to change. Leave the climatic part. That is something which we have to manage. But we as human beings, we have to treat our own people in kindness, and that has to start from our own house. how we treat our children, how we treat our parents, how we treat our friends, how we treat our relatives. And that is how we spread the awareness of love and affection across the world. And I think everybody, unless everybody comes together in that format, it is not going to change. And the only way we can do that is bring in more awareness.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Ambassador Dunston.
Input.
These are all really important topics. And what we see in UAE as well, it might be as well a good example for other countries. We even have a Ministry of Happiness and a lot of initiatives going on. And as far as I know, these initiatives are coming directly from the royal families, because there might be no misconception if the family is rich or he's a monarch or ruler, then he cares only about himself and his family. But what we see in Dubai, it might be a great example for all other countries, how we have so many nationalities, and it's not a secret that in UAE the majority is expats from Pakistan, India, Philippines, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Russia, Ukraine, from all countries. And we can see all the steps towards uniting people to be tolerant, to be respectful to each other's culture. And I would really love to ask you, since you are working with the royal family, maybe you can share with our viewers what is their point of view towards the creative society. How they see like the future, where we will go next. What's their vision?
You know the leadership of UAE, how simple life they are leading. See, though they are the rulers of the country, they lead a very, very simple life. And I am seeing that UAE will be the only country where you can mingle with the leadership. You don't see that in any other country. See, if you go to US, you will have a battalion of cars following the prime minister or the ministers. You can't even go near him. But here it is not so. The whether it is the ruler, whether it is the crown prince, they all walk along. They travel by metro. They walk along. They cycle in the road. They mingle with the common people. So that itself is the leadership proves that affection to others. There is no disparity between monarchy and they can remain aloof, but they are not doing so. So at least we should learn from that. See, for example, if you see diplomatically, if you see India and Pakistan today, they are fighting each other. But here in UAE, I am an Indian. I have so many Pakistani friends. We are living as brothers. We don't have any anger. We don't have any enmity. Nothing. So I think that is how the world has to change.
Exactly.
And leaders has to pave the way.
Amen.
UAE is definitely paving that way, and hats off to the leaderships. And that is a reason why this country is so loving, and multinationals from different people are staying together so unitely and without any issues. We have not
That's
seen
a great
even
example.
Yeah.
And this is also the example that, as you mentioned, then you are at the place there, social media and mainstream channels and also governments, they are pushing people to become enemies. Then this is an example that there are conflicts, but also in the conditions there, the ambience around is created so that we live in coexistence in respect. Then people, they are not animals, they are not enemies, they don't want to struggle, they want to live in peace. And every nationality, every culture is only making life of people more rich and more beautiful, because you don't only celebrate your holidays, but you celebrate holidays for all nationalities and all traditions. And
Yes.
yes, living as a small example, UAE is a small example. There people are living in peace, and they respect each other, and this is a great example which can be taken and multiplied to all other places of this world. Because yes, and as you mentioned also today, everything starts in the family. And this is why I would like also to touch a topic of, again, 8 foundations of the creative society. And maybe now we can have a look at the first foundation of the creative society on the screen, which is human life. And I would like to introduce it to our viewers.
Ambassador Dunston almost named already all the foundations,
All the
but
foundations,
let's
yes,
look in
yes.
more details about them.
It's
So
okay.
that
This is, yeah.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Just maybe we discuss them more a little bit in details, because the first foundation of a creative society is human life, because creative society is a society where humanity is one big family, and human life is the highest value. Life of any human has to be protected as one's own. The goal of society is to ensure and guarantee the value of each human's life. There is not and never can be there anything else more valuable than a human's life. If one human is valuable, then all people are valuable. And there is another important foundation, which is foundation number 5, and it's the creative ideology, which I would like to introduce as well, and then we could discuss about them. So ideology should be aimed at popularizing the best human qualities and stopping everything that is directed against a human. The main priority is the priority of humanity, high spiritual and moral aspirations of a human, humanness, virtue, mutual respect, and strengthening of friendship. Creating conditions for the development and education of a human with a capital H, cultivating moral values in each person and society. Prohibition of propaganda of violence, condemnation and denunciation of any form of division, aggression, and anti-human manifestations. So these are the 2 foundations which I would like to discuss in terms of that society starts with a family. And nowadays we see that even within one family, human life is not respected.
Yes.
And how can an implementation of a creative ideology into all spheres of our life can really change our attitude towards each other?
No, see, I'm saying that many things we have to go back to our basics. If you see, my childhood, we were a joint family. All my brothers, my parents, their sisters, brothers, we all stayed in a very big house in the hometown. But when my generation came, we moved out because of work, because of studies, other things, and then we moved into the nuclear families. So what happened is, in today, in if you see, parents are alone, children are somewhere. It's all in a different place. And one example which I would like to give is, I was having a discussion with the director of tourism in UAE, and I was telling him, why not we look at creating a community for senior citizens, so that the children can come and leave their parents there, and their parents, that all the old people can have their own environment there. So he said, sorry, we don't believe in that. My parent has to stay with me. It was really touching. I think that is what we have to show, because today most of the youngsters, they leave their parents somewhere and they go away. And these parents, they wait for their phone call once in a week, or a letter, or a today Skype and many Zoom is there. But invariably, they are given the last priority. I'm telling, including me. See, if I make a phone call every day to my parents, imagine the kind of love and kindness they will be feeling. They will really feel that, yes, I am being treated like a human being. But we give them the last priority. We say, no, I am very busy today. I have that meeting, this meeting, this meeting. I didn't have time to call you. So this has to start from us. We have to show, and how we do, our children will see us, they learn, and their generation will follow. So I'm saying this example, which this director of tourism told, that my parents has to stay with me, and I don't believe in putting them in a community for old people. I don't believe that. So UAE is one place where they have demonstrated that the joint family culture is still existing, which is not there in many other countries. So I think that is a classic example of how we treat our own human beings, because our parents have took so much of pain in bringing us up, and at the end of the day, if we don't support them during their old age, what is the use?
Thank you, Mr.
What is the value for human beings that we are giving? Nothing.
I love how you said previously that humanity is one big family. This is really true, because in consumerism society, we forgot that for happiness, we don't need 5 Lamborghinis, yacht, and $10 million.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody wants to live comfortably, but joy and happiness we get when we sit together for Thanksgiving, for Diwali, for any holiday, and all the family together, and nobody's fighting, and everybody's happy and joyful to be with each other. And
Yes.
I would like to ask you, you mentioned also one very interesting point, that on TV they show one thing and some wars going on, but here in reality, India and Pakistan live together side by side. Also, Ukrainians and Russians live side by side. And if we look at our phone book, we have so many friends from all over the world. If we look in Facebook, in any social network, we have so many friends, and we're so connected. Even the theory of 6 handshakes, which we're using in our discussions, thanks to modern technology, we all know each other maybe via 2 social connections, or maybe even, I don't know, less. So I wanted to ask you if we have, all these conflicts and wars, but in reality, nobody wants that, and every human's life should be protected like one's own,
Yes.
like the first foundation says. So my question to you is, so what we as people, Indians, Pakistanis, Russians, Ukrainians, Israeli, Palestinians, doesn't matter, what we as people can do in order to stop this conflict and these wars?
Because if you see, let us take the case of India, Pakistan. It is only the top, maybe about 5% of the total population who is involved in these conflicts, which is basically politics. Okay, this party and that party, they are conflicting each other, creating a rival, creating that this thing. But I don't think down the line people are like that, because even today there are people who wants treatment, they want to come to India. Now because of this bilateral relationships, they are not able to come. So all these things, it is affecting life, human life. See, if there is no better treatment in India, or if there is no better treatment in Pakistan, what is wrong in they coming to another country and getting treated? Why should bilateral relationships spoil that? So it is only the politicians who are creating those scenario. Politicians are being elected body by the population to give them a better life, but which is not the case in many countries. But UAE is an exception. where they are doing everything for the public. So I think that is what I have to share.
Yes, it's very much important, first of all, to understand that we are not enemies. We should not struggle. Then to see from where comes this division and really who pushes us to kill each other. Then to understand, as you mentioned, we are those people who are putting responsibility into someone's hands and just starting to be controlled and manipulated, but by being silenced, not by uniting under goal of peace and fraternity. We don't do actions to unite. This is why we are separated. We don't do actions to bring peace and to build peaceful society. This is why there are wars, not because someone is not one person cannot be responsible for a war. Only by silence of billions of people it can happen. This is why it's important. So it's so much important for each member of our society from every country to take on this responsibility to really build a better world for everyone. And I also wanted to touch another topic. As Serge already started the topic of conflict. Also, I would like to touch a topic that we live in the world that there are mutual religions, and religions are supposed to unite people and to bring people. But while we have a history of existence of religions for centuries, still there are so many conflicts. How can we explain it? And where can we find this uniting foundation here?
See, religion. What is religion actually? It is just man-made diversification. Okay, there is. I believe that there is a God, but today, if you see in the world, we have more than 10,000 gods. But at the end, it is only one. And what we are doing in a religion is, it is how to lead a life that human beings are bound to. Whether it is Bible, whether it is Bhagavad Gita, whether it is Quran, everything talks about the same concept. It leads us to lead a life in a right manner. That's it. But we unnecessarily, we kind of make it complex and diversify ourselves. We form silos in the name of religion. See, again the classic example in UAE, if you see the kind of traditions that they follow, they are doing the namaz maybe about 10 to 12 times every day. I've seen people sitting in business meeting and suddenly they'll say, give me 1 minute. They'll go do the namaz and come back. How, which many other religions they don't follow. We have all rituals. So many rituals are there. See, just because I am going to church doesn't mean that I am a Christian. I have to follow what is being preached. But many are not doing that. Religion is also today it has become a mind-making. It has become a business. That is the sad part. It has become a business at the end of the day. So where we don't treat really, people are fighting for religion. If you see in African countries, people are fighting against each other. In Sudan, people are fighting for religion. I mean, we don't know where we are leading to, and we should not have these kind of, see, geographical barriers is fine. America is a separate continent, Africa is separate, Asia is separate, fine. Geographically, we are separated. But within the continent, we should not have diversifications as religion, caste, culture, even gender. We should not be a bifurcation of male, female. See, both of them are capable of doing the same job. So we should not have even gender diversification. That is what I am working for, that women empowerment organization. We are empowering women to make sure that they lead Africa in the next 10 years. So that's it. That's what I have to share.
You
Thank you,
touched very
Ambassador
important
Dunston.
topics, really very much important topics about that we should overcome with these diversifications, understanding the nature, the equal nature of every human being, and cherishing human life. And as you mentioned, I also agree with you, then a religion becomes an institution working as a business organization or business institution, and then we forgot the message which was sent to us by our prophets, and the message of God for people was always to live in unity and in peace and in love with each other. And we definitely are now at the let's say dead end of today's consumerism format of the society, and at the beginning of a new era of evolution of humanity towards really becoming one big family, and to build a society based on 8 foundations, on moral values, on respect to each other. And this will definitely give us a huge boost as a society towards development and growth. And we can really build such a world which we can leave to our children, and we will be proud of it. That's why I would like to invite all the viewers of today's show to join the Project Creative Society. And it's very easy to do it. I would like to ask to show that it's just visit the web page allatraunites.com, and there you will find a red button, join us. Click it and find one of 3 questions, 1, 2, 3. If you support Creative Society and you want to participate actively in building a creative society already today, choose the 3rd answer, leave your email or telephone number, and the participants of Creative Society project will contact you, as I did. Then Ambassador Dunston joined the project, and I contacted him back to ask what we can do together. There he lives, and such a communication is taking place in all countries of the world now, right now, at the same time, in different languages. People are talking about creative society, about the importance of a new format of the society, and how we can unite in order really to build it as quickly as possible. So thank you, Ambassador Dunston, for joining us today, for becoming a member of this beautiful movement, global movement, and for sharing your values today with our viewers, because I'm sure as it resonated so much with my feelings, it also resonates with feelings of our viewers. Thanks, and I'm passing a floor to Serge.
Thank you, Ambassador Dunston. You said amazing words about that God is one. Religions might separate us, but what we feel inside, this love, because God is love, this is what unites us all, no matter what we do. Either we do namaz, either we pray. And I would really love to invite everyone on 20th of March. We will have a huge online conference, which is called Creative Society, What the Prophets Dreamt of. Nowadays, we have a unique opportunity with all this modern technology and the connections between people. We have an amazing opportunity to implement in life what the prophets told us, the world of love and friendship and fraternity that they all preached, and we can create it in reality. So please, everyone is invited. On the AllTree Unites website, you can find more information about the conference, and please invite everyone, because only united as one family we can make positive changes without any revolutions. Our today's society needs evolution, so let's do it together.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. And I humbly request everybody to join this movement and make this world a better place to live for all of us and for the generations to come. Thank you so much.
Amen.
Thank you so much. And please, if you would like to share this broadcast on your social media, dear friends, please use two hashtags. First hashtag Creative Society and the second Allatra Unites. You can see them now on the screen. Please don't hesitate. It will help many people to find information about Creative Society and to join the project. Thank you again, Ambassador Dunston, for your beautiful understandings which you shared today with our viewers, for, as I mentioned, joining the project and building already now, creating society with other members of this project already now and here. We would like to invite you to co-host in our next shows, to invite more friends and people who are interested to talk about Creative Society. And dear viewers, I hope that you see Ambassador Dunston in our shows shortly. So let's watch a short movie, a short trailer about the upcoming conference on the 20th of March, and we'll stay tuned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Unprecedented event of present history. Initiative that comes from people around the world. Main project of humanity. People stopped being silent about urgent issues of our society. How it all started. May 2019, International Online Conference, Society, The Last Chance. 140 countries of the world, hundreds of thousands of people online, hundreds of broadcast platforms, translated into 7 languages simultaneously. If we all want to live in peace, why do we have a world of violence and destruction? It is up to us to build a different world. How can we do it? December 2020, Creative Society, United We Can. 180 countries of the world, millions of people online, thousands of streaming platforms, 35 languages simultaneously translated. People have voiced today's reality and what they truly desire. And it is the Creative Society. All cultures have an image of the ideal world people want to live in. A world that prophets talked about. The time has come when we can make it real. How will we use this chance? Let's meet March 20, 2021, 3 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time and 10 a.m. Eastern Time. International online event of global scale. Creative Society, what the prophets dreamed of. This is the day the world will unite to find out the truth, join the entire humanity, and spread the message.